There
Daje
he
made
is.
it.
Woo.
Love that. Very Joe Cool picture.
That is a really good picture.
Seriously, Joe Cool picture. Daje, OMG, it's so good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to the MHI Scholars Journal Club. And Daje was an amazing supporter of MHI, helped do a previous video for our Giving Partner Challenge and did a great job in between finals, whatever else was going on at that time. And we're happy to have you. And so Glemmy, who invited you, unfortunately is not with us this afternoon and had to travel. And we don't have all of our students. COVID is not being kind. We hope that you've survived it pretty well. But we do have Keisha, who just finished high school and just presented an article on sickle cell and did very well. I wish you could have listened to that and helped out with some of the biochemistry because you were good with that. And so I'm going to assist Keisha in kind of getting your interview going. And if you would just please state for the rest of us your full name, when you went to New College, what was your area of interest? What did you do with MHI during the times that you worked with us as a start?
Okay, sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Daje Austrie. I was working with MHI, I believe the year 2016 and beyond. I'm a New College alum. I just started New College from the year 2015, and I was able to graduate January 2020. And while at MHI, I really came into my own. I was in let me see. So I majored in natural sciences. I've been saying actuarial science lately, but I majored in natural sciences while at New College because I happen to be good at math and science, and I was actually a pre-med major, so it made sense for me to volunteer with MHI and have the opportunity to work as an intern with MHI because I felt that what Dr. Lisa Merritt was doing in terms of being a physician and also giving back to the community directly aligned with my interests. And so MHI helped a lot, and MHI actually put me on the path that I'm currently on by actually giving me the opportunity to become a tutor. And we can talk about that a little bit more, but I hope that suffices as a satisfactory introduction.
Good. So where did you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Long story. So I was born in the Virgin Islands, born in St. Croix. My mom had me rather young. So while she was going to school, I grew up there a little bit and spent a couple of years there. Then when we were settling down, I grew up in Orlando, Florida, very multicultural. It was a great experience, but I felt that in order for me to spread my wings a little bit, see the world a little bit more, and inform a lot of the belief systems that I have right now, I needed to go to a school that thought a little bit differently. So I heard about a little Ivy in Southwest Florida that was New College of Florida, and I figured, why not me? I felt like I was bright enough to get into the school, and one thing led to another, and I was fortunate enough to have an opportunity to go to New College. So long-winded answer, but born in the Virgin Islands, but grew up in Orlando. That's where I claim.
Okay, so what did you like about natural sciences? And what was your thesis?
So I believe, I'm sorry, my connection was a little unstable there, but I believe your question was what I liked about natural sciences and what my thesis was on. So I enjoyed the flexibility of natural sciences. I enjoyed that there were many different things under that umbrella that challenged me, but could also provide like a concrete answer to some of the questions that I had about the world. So while I was studying under the natural sciences umbrella, it was what do you call it? It was an interdisciplinary track. So it allowed me to study chemistry up to biochemistry, up to calculus 3, up to physics, what do you call it? Macroeconomics. I got a wide swath of, I was able to paint a broad brush and get as much out of the New College experience as I could. And uh, while I was there, I actually got to design my own thesis. So I ended up writing my thesis on Usain Bolt and his world record breaking performance and incorporating some kinesiology concepts, some biochemistry, some physics to study the biomechanics that led to his world record breaking performances and the anomalies therein. So yeah, I mean, I felt like natural sciences degree helped me put all of those together.
What advice do you have for other scholars as well? For me and other scholars.
You and other scholars. Don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Um, I know that's something that I'm really grateful for. I know no matter how dumb you think the question is, definitely keep poking because by stoking that curiosity, you're going to be able to get farther than you ever even thought possible. Like I said, with my thesis, I get asked about it a lot, and that challenge in and of itself was something that I didn't expect to be able to do going into my experience at New College. And now having that under the belt, I felt like there's nothing that isn't possible for me anymore. And even with what I'm doing right now, studying actuarial science, I think there were two New College alums that were actuaries. And I had no idea how to get into the industry, but I felt like the problems that they got to solve were very fascinating. So the only way I was able to get this far was just by asking questions. So that's my advice to you and future scholars. Continue to ask questions.
What is an actual science? And what skills do you need for that?
I've asked that question myself maybe a little more than a year ago. So I have a lot of practice answering that. So an actuary is what I like to think of as a cross between an accountant, and a statistician, and an economist. So actuaries get the opportunity to ascribe a price value to future risks, and there are several different risks that actuaries get to work with. They use their economic and statistical judgment to try and answer really nebulous questions. And they're like, I don't know, one problem that I'm trying to solve right now is trying to automate this process geared towards verifying mortality assumptions for a pension risk benefits product that I'm putting together for my internship. So all in all, it's really just a lot of math. And in order to become an actuary, you have to continuously prove yourself through a series of exams, each one harder than the last. So in order to prepare yourself for actuarial science, really it's just being a good test taker and having a good aptitude for really math and science and statistics, and just having a lot of patience for yourself. I passed 4 recently, so I think I'm officially like, I don't know, looking at the emails that I've been getting, I feel like I'm officially a good candidate now.
What keeps you motivated to keep doing what you're doing?
I like the problems I get to solve. They are definitely intellectually stimulating. I think getting into this profession, I mean, I've heard it in passing and I've talked to some folks about it, but what really let me know this is what I really need to do is a problem that came up in a book that I was reading. I think it was written by Paul Krugman. I forget the name of the book exactly, but it was basically addressing bad faith arguments about certain economic issues that were taking place at the time. A hot button issue that we mentioned in the book was the solvency of Social Security. And I know my mom had talked about that. I know I've read some articles talking about folks who were younger maybe not being able to reap the benefits of Social Security and things like that. And it seemed like a pretty serious issue. And when I did some back end research, I realized that the people who were responsible for determining like the taxes that need to be put in place or the policies that need to be put forward in order to solve that issue were actuaries. And I felt like that was my opportunity to, use the things that I was good at, math, science, stimulate my brain, and actually do good for, just do good for the society around me. Um, yeah,
That's wonderful. And I'm happy to report there is enough money for Social Security, by the way. It's as much a political angle as others, but we're relying on you guys to keep working. That's part of the challenge. It's the system built on previous generations. And they didn't count on the boomers lasting so long either, I think. But it's a prediction. It's a bit magical and intuitive. And I think that's just such a perfect field for you, Daje. I'm really happy to hear, because not everybody has this kind of mathematical gift. And here I had this young man, and I was like, calculus, and you're going to tutor calculus. We're not wasting that brain. Ryan was the same way. You guys talked to Ryan last week, right? And Ryan, by the way, Daje, is now at Mayo Medical School after doing an MBA, and no surprises there. So we all use the gifts that we've been given in the ways that we can, and we find the sync. And then when you fall into the rhythm, listen to the excitement that Daje has about, because this is fluid for him. For other people, we'd be like, what? The probability of what does what, how, and where's the cheat sheet? It's just like in his head. It's like he's got an antenna. So Keisha, you're doing great. You have any other questions?
Does anyone have any other questions? No.
I have a comment. Can I make a comment? Is that? Well,
Sure.
I just remember, Daje, I remember you were in one of my classes my first semester at New College. Intro Soc with Zabriskie. It's just really cool to see you now and like doing your thing. And like, I remember I didn't know you well, and I never have, but vibes. It's really nice to see you in your element now. It's really beautiful. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. And you guys were part of the crew that really helped Dr. Zabriskie so much with getting Black History Month going, getting some of the community engagement stuff going when things were a little different at New College. So we appreciate you and all of what you've done. So Daje, we have a survey that we're trying to also engage the alumni from the MHI Scholars Program. We'd love if you would please. Did you get the survey? Do you remember seeing it in the million emails you guys get? Do you have an updated email that you want to give us, or are you still using your New College email?
I'm still using the New College email. I believe is it Johnny Goodley? Is he the one?
Yeah.
So I did request that maybe we had a conversation and I dictate the responses, because I believe they needed to be a little bit more thoughtful. And I think at the time when I received the email, I was just preparing for an exam on the Saturday, like last Saturday. So I can take the time out, seeing as I passed it already. So yeah, I'll go ahead and respond and see what I can do.
We appreciate that. We're trying to get a little summarization of our work and the feedback from the scholars, and also can reconnect them in, like what happened with you and Johnny Glemmy, which is great. So we can keep that pipeline going. MHI just had its 25th anniversary celebration last fall, which is a long time. And I want to make sure you guys all know each other as we go forward and kind of keep up with each other and all the good stuff you're doing, because we may get another student that wants to do an actuarial science. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows? So where are you now, Daje? Are you back in Orlando? Or are you still down in Sarasota?
I'm in New York.
You're in New York.
Yeah.
Cool. Where in New York?
I'm in the Bronx. I'm staying with my aunt for a little bit, but rent's expensive. So but I understand that the internship happens to be there. I happen to be lucky enough to be at like the MetLife office and learn as much as I can while I'm here. And it's different being in person. It's different like being able to shake hands and have those conversations. I know I sat in on a meeting with some of the management there, some of this like a student from the UK line of business, or rather from I want to make sure I use the right language, so I don't want to be like too insurance and insurance piece. So I got the opportunity to sit in with a business partner, and they were super high up, and it was interesting to see how the power dynamic was there, and yet it was still a horizontal leadership structure. I was sitting right next to the senior vice president, and like I could ask the questions, and it was nice to see that firsthand. but
I bet it felt good
so,
too, didn't it?
I guess, I mean, for me, there's also a lot of other dynamics at play. I'm the only Black person on the floor. I feel it. So, I mean, that's something I need to adjust to, but I should be used to it based on, like, I don't know, my undergraduate experience. So there are things that I'm trying to adjust to. But what I appreciate about this profession is that the great equalizer is those the great equalizer is the ability to pass exams. If you're smart enough, you can stay, or if you're capable of passing the exams, you can stay. And I don't know, like I've seen folks who look like me who have been in my situation who ask the same questions as Keisha, what is an actuary? And I want to close that gap for folks. So I'd be very much appreciative if I could stay in touch with MHI, let people know younger than me that this is something that they can do, because it's a very rewarding career and they should be able to see themselves in it.
And you're in the epicenter of numbers, New York, just like we pictured it. Yeah, that's it. It's all about the money. So, and the numbers and the projections and the market and all of that runs the world. So good for you, Daje. It's really wonderful to see you, to see how you're landing on your feet. And that's just, and that life is a journey. I think the other important thing for the others on the call is to know you can start out one way and you end up going another way. But I think Daje's message that's very important is it's all about trying your best and being excellent, which is what a mantra of MHI is, an MHI scholar, right? No judgment, but we do expect you to do your best. Because if you do your best, then you'll be able to hang with the rest of it. Daje goes in, he knows he's got to study. He's like, I can't really talk about this right now. I got a test. We like that, prioritize, okay? And then comes back around, and then here he is to give back, and that's beautiful. But he's there at the table, and you don't get to the table by messing around and saying, oh, well, I'm going to start studying for the test at midnight the night before the test. You go talk to people who took the test, you can get the books for the test, you eat right, you get, you do whatever it is you got to do to get your brain in its best place, so that when you go for that test, you've tried your best. And then after that, it's up to the powers, it's up to the far greater powers than any of us. So Daje, this is usually the time we just finish up. But do you have any last things you want to share with us, or about your experience with MHI, or how that informed this, or anything else before we end for today?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I could be a math tutor before the MHI. That opportunity was presented, and I basically haven't stopped. It's informed how I got this far. It's informed how I interact with folks who I'm going to be tutoring in my master's program, and it's a blessing. I have you to thank for giving me the confidence to go this far. So the folks who are associated with MHI, take advantage. Dr. Merritt is about giving back with every ounce and every fiber of her being, and I'm grateful to have been one of the recipients.
Thank you, Daje. You are just a wonderful jewel and a shining example of why we do what we do. And we wish you the best. And we wish all of you the best, and know that it's going to be ups and downs in life. There's things to overcome. There's hard phases. All of you have had them, but we don't focus on that. It's what makes us stronger. When Daje came in and I wanted to still have the energy to deal with him and the others, I was also in the crosshairs of major, they call the sandwich generation. I had my parents, both of them with significant health issues, one in a memory care unit, my daughter going through major surgeries. It was unbelievable. And so, one of the things that I also do is I stay human. You got to see we're all got stuff, but it doesn't matter. We just keep pushing through, and being able to work with Daje and other students like that is what helps give me the joy and the strength to keep showing up, because I know that means the future is bright. So all of you, thank you. Have a great weekend. That concludes our journal club for July 15th, 2022, with an interview with Daje Austrie, New College alum, class of 2020. We're really, really happy for this opportunity to be together today. I'm Dr. Lisa, Executive Director of the Multicultural Health Institute, and I want to thank Keisha Rozier for a great job on the interview, and Mariah Olson also for a great job on helping to review articles today. May you all just have a wonderful weekend, and remember, do your best. Always do your best. Bye-bye.